So now let's talk about assimilation. So the question is, what is assimilation? Assimilation is a sound change in some phonemes, and it is a typical consonant or vowel that change to become more similar to a nervy sound. Okay, so a common type of phonology process across different language, and this assimilation can occur either within the words or between other words. So it happens when a sound at the end of a word can change the pronunciation because the sound of the beginning of the next word. Okay, so for example, if you say that is really true provoking, so as you can listen, that is really true provoking. I'm not pronounce the last word of true because I'm saying true without the letter T. But if I say truth provoking, so there will be like two sounds, and that is automatically incorrect because I'm saying two times the letter P. So actually that is just a simulation. But we are going to see some types of assimilation, okay? So let's start with the first one. So in this case, we have the assimilation of the letter B and D, okay? So when a word ends in a vowel, the letter D and the next word starts with the letter B, it changes, yes, for the following thing. So, for example, if I said speedboat, like speedboat, yes, I'm not saying a speedboat, I'm saying speedboat. Okay, so as you can see, the P, if I said speedboat, I am not saying the letter P, so the P is changing to a B, so at the end is speedboat. Okay, so now let's go with the next assimilation. This assimilation is between the letters D and G. So when a word ends in the letter D and the next word begins with the letter K or G and D, it can change to the letter G. For example, if I said bagger, yes, bagger, so I'm not saying bad girl because you don't need to pronounce the letter D. It is the D changed to the letter G, okay? So it is bagger, okay? Bagger. So that's the correct pronunciation. Okay, so I'm really happy to continue with the next one. The next one is the assimilation of N followed by the letter P, okay? So when a word ends in the letter N and the next word begins with the letter B, B, or N, you need to change it to the letter M. For example, if I said green park, so I'm not saying like green park, so it is just green park, yes. So green, as you notice, the last consonant is the letter N, but in this case it will be changed for the letter M, so we say green park. Okay, so green park. Okay, so it's green park at the end. Now let's continue with the next assimilation, and this assimilation is the assimilation of the letter S. So when a word ends in the letter S and the next word starts or begins with the letter J or S, the next needs to change to a sound, and this sound is very cool because you need to say like sha, okay? So for example, if I do like achoo, that is like bless you, okay? That is the writing way, but the correct way is that, listen, as you know, the word bless finish with the SS consonants. So these consonants and the next one is you, that in phonetic, the letter Y is like a ya sound. So in this case, you need to combine those consonants and the pronunciation needs to be like sha. So when you need to say like bless you, the correct way is pleasure, okay? Pleasure. Okay, excellent. So now let's go with the next one, the assimilation of the letter T N-G. So if a word ends with the sound T, so for example, tomato or market, yes, and the next word begins with the letter G, yes, both sounds may come together to make a, so then we have again like ch, ch, okay? So if you see that the last word is a T and the other is a J, so it is the sound ch, okay? So for example, the really word that you know this phrase is nice to meet you. Yes, so this is the writing word again. So as you can see, meet is finishing with the letter T. And the next word that is you is finishing with the letter Y, that is ya. Okay, so this needs to be connected and it needs to be like ch. So it is nice to meet ya. Okay, it's nice to meet ya. That's the correct word. Okay, so let's go with the last assimilation. It is the easiest one. So this assimilation is followed by the letter T, but it needs to change off with the letter K. So if the sound finish with the letter T, the other word needs to become in the letter K, right? For example, you know that this is a credit card, okay? Excellent. So in this case, as you can see, credit is finished with the letter T and card is starting with the letter C, and in phonetic the letter C has the sound k, yes. So this sound needs to do a combination in which we don't need to pronounce the letter T, yes. The letter T is automatically deleted. So you need to say credit with the K and then card, like credit card. Yes, credit card. Okay, so thank you. I hope it is really useful for you and goodbye.